Thank you guys for joining us for a special edition of the Sit Down with Malik Wright, presented by First Star Logistics. We are live from the makeshift studios of Malik Wright and Daniel Alameda as we break down the Bengals' victory of the Los Angeles Rams. Let me just say how damn great it
Mm-hmm.
felt. The energy was electric. People were pumped up. It was the breakout game for Dax Hill. Trey Hendrickson looked like he was on coke out there. I mean, there was just so
Jesus
many.
Christ.
I'm just being honest with you,
Yeah.
man. It was just an absolutely insane game. But before we jump into all that, do us a huge favor: give this video a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn on post notifications so you guys don't miss when we go live from the First Star Logistics studio as we discuss all things Bengals and NFL and sports in general. It was a whiteout game in Cincinnati. It was very reminiscent of what Penn State does, you know what I mean? And obviously a whiteout game that the Bengals did last year when they took on the Miami Dolphins. But we got to talk about it, man. This was a phenomenal win for the Bengals. It wasn't always pretty.
No.
Wasn't always pretty. But they were able to get it done. So Daniel, you were inside the stadium with the
Yeah.
fans. I was up
Fun.
in the First Star suite, and we had some crazy guests come through, and I'll talk to you guys a little bit more about that. But Daniel, talk to me about the atmosphere and talk to me about the game in general.
So atmosphere was great. It's kind of funny experience, I would say. So I sat next to two, season ticket holders. One to my left, his name was Jim. He's been a season ticket holder since, before they were even at Paycor Stadium, Paul Brown Stadium, way back when. But the one thing I learned, like, I do love Bengals fans, right? I love Bengals fans. The one thing I learned is Bengals fans need to have not a little more patience, but just breathe, because it seemed like every time there was something bad happen, it was like the world's gonna end. Fires active. It was like, oh my God, T. Higgins is done. Like relax, like it's fine. And I know Bengals fans are on edge, but the one thing I will say, Bengals fans are passionate. And that's the one thing I felt. I felt a passionate group out there, whether it was, when Jamar Chase was finally getting it going, whether it was, even at the end of the game when we were about to, it was the onside kick. Bengals fans were still roaring. So, man, I just love the passion. And it was just fun because I sat next to so many different, personalities, and you just get to see, and interact with so many different fans. So the atmosphere was great. So
So can I tell you about the First Star suite
Let me
for
hear.
a second?
Let me hear.
So we're sitting in the First Star suite. Gary Owen comes in, absolutely hilarious. TJ Husmanzada walks in, and him and Gary had a great back and forth that had the entire suite cackling up, laughing, and stuff like that. Then you start to see more people start to pop in. Jimmy Chase comes in. We have even had a former Bengals named Sean Smith, I think his name was, pop in. Pac-Man Jones comes in. I mean, the list of people that were just walking in to the First Star Logistics suite. When I say First Star Logistics does it big, they do it big. Jerry Kirkpatrick was there. He watched the game with us. Icky Woods brought the energy all night. It was just great to watch football game amongst so many different Bengals legends and people that have contributed over the years to the franchise, and just seeing how much ring of honor meant for them, right? You know what I mean? You could tell they actually it meant a lot to them, right? Seeing, being there for Chad Ocho's induction along with Boomer Esiason, man, and just seeing the way this football team, this organization as a whole, past and present, come together. Marvin Lewis was there. Mike Zimmer was there.
Yeah.
I mean, former players, Willie Anderson was there. Anthony Munoz was there. So many people were there, man. So many people were there to support one another. And that's just cool. Let me just say this for a moment before we talk about the game.
Yeah.
It was really, really cool to see how Bengals legends came together to support, this organization and this franchise. And this is why people in Cincinnati fought so hard for the Ring of Honor, because even in a situation in which the league doesn't always honor the Bengals greats, it's important to remember and pay respect to your history as an organization. Terrell Owens was there, who spent 1 year in Cincinnati. So it was really, really cool. It was a star-studded event. So you mean to tell me we had T.O., Chad Ochocinco, and the litany of different players. Chris Collinsworth was there. And then last week we had Kevin Durant there and Devin Booker there. I mean, it gets better and better, right? But hats off to the Bengals organization for really doing it big and really honoring the players of the past and keeping it current. The light show was awesome. Everything about it was absolutely awesome. So again, tip of the hat to the Bengals organization for actually honoring their players and making the whiteout really just a yearly transition that tradition. I'm sorry, I say not transition, tradition that Cincinnati Bengals fans in the city of Cincinnati gets to look forward to each and every single year. Let me tell you something right now, man. I moved to Cincinnati. I've been in Cincinnati for about a year now, exactly. And the buzz around the city for this game was exciting, man. All you heard was people talking about it. Went downtown, people were dressed in all white. I mean, it was great. It was great, man. You see Daniel's outfit. Daniel's was all dressed out in all white too. So it was really, really cool to see. Hats off to Cincinnati. This is a big day for Cincinnati. But Bengals are now 1-2, getting a big victory over the Los Angeles Rams. Why is it significant? Because it was not only the Bengals' first game win of the season, but guess what?
What's up?
Joe Burrow got out of the game virtually healthy.
Yep.
And that's what you wanted. We could even talk about Jamar Chase seems to be back. And I sat up here and I ridiculed the offense, right? I was hard on the offense. I was hard on the defense. I said, we need more pressure from the defensive line. Let me just take a moment because I can admit when I'm wrong. I can also talk about when I'm right. I can ridicule, but I can also praise. Let me take a moment to praise the coaching staff. That game plan, the offensive game plan to get Jamar Chase involved early and often was fantastic. They tried to get T. Higgins involved. Obviously, he had a down day. It happens. It's not the world. The sky is not falling.
Yeah.
Tyler Boyd, they got involved.
Mm-hmm.
But I also want to talk about a guy that nobody is talking about, who is one of the Bengals' unsung heroes of the day. Hudson, the tight end.
Okay.
Tanner Hudson. He looked good.
Yeah.
And that shows you what the Bengals could do when they have a capable tight end. I'm going to get to the defense. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to get to the defense. But I just want to shout him out. I also want to shout out the Bengals coaching staff for keeping with the consistent running game and trying to run the ball and get the running game going. I understand people's bets didn't hit, Daniel. But Malik, my bad. My bad. Yeah. But I understand. But it showed growth. The Bengals understand this is the time where they start needing to pick it up. But seeing Tanner Hudson come in the lineup, right? And for those of you who don't know his number, 87, and be able to make big plays when they were necessary, when they were needed, man, that was great to see. Because you finally got some juice from the tight end position that you were looking for this season. Not to say Irv Smith can't grow into that, but the best ability is availability, and Tanner Hudson was available tonight, right? He looked good in that spot. And Joe Burrow, albeit we all know he's not out there playing 100%, but the fact that he was able to get out of that game and leave out the game healthy was a big part of it. Was huge. I want to keep it going. To the defense side of things. Trey Hendrickson, you get the tip of the cap, sir. I mean, play after play, pressure after pressure. Nobody could do anything to stop that guy. He was getting held, getting tugged on all night. Man, and he just played like a bat out of hell. He really did. I also want to talk about Logan Wilson. Logan Wilson did a fantastic job tonight.
Very good.
He looked like the guy that really bursted onto the scene his rookie season. Trey just looked really, really good out there. Jermaine looked great out there. I know people are a little down on Dax Hill, but Dax Hill did have great moments, right? Dax Hill had some great moments.
He had great moments.
He had some great moments. He was making a lot of plays, coming on the blitz, breaking up a couple passes. I understand he gave up that one touchdown to I believe that was him to. I got to go back and watch.
So I was actually watching right now the last touchdown. It was a miscommunication. I'll show you right here.
I know who you're talking about. That last touchdown that wasn't. Was on Nick Scott.
Yeah. Okay. Were you saying the other one? You were saying the other one. I didn't watch the other one.
Yeah. So I'll say this. I think that Nick Scott has some growing to do. Obviously in this. And you guys know who my guy is. You know who I want to see starting to get some playing time in this defense, and that's Jordan Battle, man. I really do. But obviously, I just really want to take this moment to shout out the entire defensive line. The defensive line showed up today.
BJ Hill with the sack.
Huh?
BJ Hill with
BJ
the
Hill
sack.
with the sack, yeah. And Keith Bradley, I see your comment. And make sure you guys keep, put your comments down in the comment section. We're going to get to them. You said Cam Taylor-Britt was the last one. It was on Cam Taylor-Britt's side, but that was not Cam Taylor-Britt's job.
It was
supposed to be Nick Scott's job, which is why Cam Taylor-Britt and him had that interaction at the end. That wasn't supposed to be on Cam Taylor-Britt, although it looked like it was on Cam Taylor-Britt because he was the nearest defender. That wasn't his assignment. That was actually Nick Scott's assignment. A little bit of miscommunication happens in the defense, but you obviously want to start to see more strides. There was even there was an incompletion in there, play action where they tried to hit Tutu Atwell, just missed it, and Nick Scott was trailing behind, and luckily DJ Turner made an incredible play to break up the pass. So you really need to see the growth with Nick Scott, especially being a veteran player in there. Yeah. I'm not going to beat up on the guy. Bengals are 1-2. Bengals got a victory today. You're happy about it, but you want to dissect the victories, but also look at the flaws. Sam Hubbard looked good today too as well. Sam Hubbard got a sack out there. Sam Hubbard was playing hard. I think the Bengals defensive line registered the most sacks under the Lou Anarumo and Marion Hobby era. And credit to them, man. Credit to them.
6 sacks today.
They were able to get it going. They were able to pressure the hell out of the Rams offensive line. They got Stafford out of whack. Once the Rams went up by a touchdown and they started playing from behind, they were able to just tee off with these edge rushers and just the defensive line in general.
Real quick. So Matt Stafford threw 33 passes.
Yep.
The Bengals had 10 quarterback hits. So that means on 33 of those that's basically 33%. You're hitting the quarterback, and that's beautiful. I mean, Zach Carter, BJ Hill, DJ Reader, Trey Hendrickson, Nick Scott, the Dax Hill blitz off the edge. Like, this defense, they played good, only giving up 16 points. There were only a couple miscues.
I just got corrected by my guy, Kevin. He said there were also 2 more sacks that were negated by penalties. So the Bengals defensive line altogether would have had 8 sacks.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's the level of Saxonville, right? That's the level of Saxonville. That's no, seriously. Yeah. And why that's significant? That's the defensive line Marion Hobby helped coordinate in Jacksonville, where he was the defensive line coach. So it shows Marion Hobby truly is one of the best defensive line coaches, because there were a lot of questions about Sam Hubbard's ability to grow as an edge rusher in this defense. There was a lot of there was people that said Trey Hendrickson was a merchant of Cam Jordan. And he's able to get the most out of these guys that people are just writing off. People are saying can't, take this defensive line to the next level. So, Kev, I appreciate you, bro. For he's right about that. There were 2 more sacks that were negated by penalties that that we were like, damn, if those sacks were on the board, we're talking about 8 sacks for this Bengals defensive line. So the Bengals defensive line is getting it going at the right time, because now guess what they've got coming in? They've got Ryan Tannehill and the Titans this upcoming week in Tennessee, right, where we know what their game plan is going to be. Their game plan is going to be run the ball down your throats with Derrick Henry, run the balls down your throats with Tajay Spears, and then use that to feed off of the play action and tee off of that. I think the Bengals edge rushers can absolutely have a field
1,000%
day with that Titans offensive line. But before we even get into that, because we're going to talk about that game, guys, and we're going to talk about you. Make sure you guys give this video a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and make sure you guys are following First Star Logistics on X or Twitter, and First Star Media Group on YouTube, so you guys keep up with with our content. Remember, these lives are simulcasted on both YouTube channels, so make sure you guys keep up to date, and make sure you're also following them, because each and every single week the Bengals have a game. First Star Logistics will be doing a giveaway this week, live in the suite. TJ Houshmandzadeh, Gary Owen, and Dre both announced at halftime the PS5 winner. So congrats to everybody for participating.
Crazy someone got PS5.
Man, and then you should have saw it was pretty sick too. It's Bengal rap theme. It was pretty cool. But keeping the conversation rolling, man. Like
real quick, just because you want you're good. You just to finish off the defensive line. They absolutely stuffed the Rams on the running attack. The Rams ran for 3.4 yards a carry outside of the big Tutu Atwell rush. They played good. The Rams were not able to establish a run. That was one of the biggest issues against the Ravens. Ravens killed the Bengals on the ground. Against the Browns, Nick Chubb got it going in the second half. The Rams couldn't do jack anything.
And let me just say something. This is why I love Houday Nation This is why I wanted to come to Cincinnati, man.
Yeah.
Not only was I a lifelong Bengals fan, man, it's crazy. One of the people that made me into a Bengals fan, TJ Houshmandzadeh, growing up. So, like, I know a lot of people love Chad and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
was a big TJ Houshmandzadeh guy. I like Chad too, but I was a big TJ Houshmandzadeh guy. And the guy that helped get me into Alabama football, Draker Patrick, being able to watch a game in the first row just tonight was just like crazy for me. It was pretty awesome. But the fact that it's 1:30 a.m. and 91 of you guys are in the chat with us, man, that speaks to your dedication. I appreciate you guys because none of this is possible without you guys. And we appreciate, as my guy Keith Bradley always says, those late night chats hit different. So appreciate you, man. Well, Daniel, what else were you saying about it, man? Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. And Trees would leave saying, aren't we a little overexcited about beating the Rams by 3 points? It's a win.
I think why we're excited is because it's not just about beating the Rams, Tree. I think it's also about the fact that they came away unscathed, relatively healthy, because that was the big issue. I think a lot of people, the nervousness that I got from Cincinnati, from talking to people and engaging people, it wasn't that the Bengals would go 0-3. It was more so, damn, is our quarterback going to be healthy? Is our quarterback, like Joe Burrow's health was of paramount. And the fact that we made it through this game and healthy, and then you wind up winning the game, man. And listen, no good deed goes unpunished. No good deed goes unpunished. So here's what I'll say. Joe Burrow, I was sitting next to my guy Kevin, and we were talking about it, man, because him and I, we're both like high level thinkers when it comes to football, and we both watched the game from a coach's aspect, from a coach's mindset, and we were like, "I'm be wrong with you, man." When we went down the field, we accepted the ball first, and then we go down the field and it gets up, like, I think it's 4th and 3, and we decide to
kick the field goal,
miss it. And we miss it. We're like, man, if you're going to come out and be aggressive, like, that's where you make your mark, right? Where you make your mark and you go out there and you try to put your stamp on the game to let them know, like, this is what we're going to be. This is what this game is going to look like. You know what I mean? So there were definitely some things that we wanted to see, but I think the biggest thing that we were excited about was the growth of the offense, the movement pre-snap, right? The getting Jamar Chase more involved.
15 targets.
Man, I'm telling you, bro.
That's what they needed.
That's what, and this is what I try to tell people. He is capable of the exact same things. It was kind of annoying to see. No offense to Jay Jettas, man. It was cool to see him put up the numbers he was putting up, but it's like it was annoying to see Jamar not be able to put those numbers, knowing that they have similar skill set and similar ability. Knowing Jamar is definitely more of a volume guy and a guy that just keeps going. I'm sorry, he's not more of a volume guy. He's more of an explosive guy than a volume guy, but he can put up those similar numbers with half the amount of targets, if you will. And so just seeing Jamar be able to elevate his game and get taken to the next level, and just seeing the Bengals coaching staff rely on him that much outside of bubble screams, it also shows that they had a little bit more comfortability in Joe Burrow's ability to be the quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals today. So you didn't see a game plan where it was like, all right, let's protect 9 at all costs. So, like, for me, it felt like the Bengals can get their season going because confidence comes from knowing, but confidence also comes from winning. So the fact that the Bengals finally get their first win on the board, man, that's huge. It's huge going into this stretch right here where you got the Tennessee Titans, you got the Cardinals, you got matchups that are winnable coming up. So now guess what you need to do? You need to go out there and win those matchups.
And also, like, the thing that I think a lot of people don't understand is, and it's not a thing of, a lack of knowing, just understand that these players, especially a guy like Jamar Chase, you have to give them confidence. At the end of the day, like, I saw Jamar Chase dancing. It was heading into the 4th quarter. He's dancing in the huddle. He wasn't doing that in week 1. He wasn't doing that in week 2. If you give your players confidence, get them excited. And, I think it's a perfect thing. Jamar Chase, how the week started, everybody on social media is overreacting. Well, Jamar wants the ball. Jamar wants the ball. I'm sure he talked to Brian Callahan. I'm sure he talked with the coaches. And what did they do? They got him the ball. You made your players happy. A win is a win. I can promise you, Joe Mixon, T. Higgins, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, they're all happy right now.
Yeah, man. And you see all the players right now, right? They're on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, and they're like, who day. And T. Higgins, the first thing he gets on, he's taking ownership. He's taking accountability. Yeah. He's being the leader that we all love him for, which is why we want the Bengals to re-sign him. He says, got to be better. Yeah. And I will be. You know what I mean? And that's what you want from one of your leaders on this team. There's no finger pointing, there's no blaming, there's none of that. We got to win. The Bengals are 1-2. Their season is saved. Their season is no longer rocks. Obviously, you need to go out there and you now need to beat the Tennessee Titans, which you have a shorter week to work with now, right? And if you think about it to some degree. But I think that this Bengals football team is starting to get rolling. I think they can start to get rolling because I think the more reps Joe Burrow has, the more confidence he's going to have.
1000%.
And I also want to shout out Chuck Sizzle.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that was a guy that I thought was about to become Alex Erickson 2.0, man, with those fair catches, man. Yeah, like he looked really good. He seems like he's actually seen the field a lot better, and he's looking for an opportunity to take off. So shout out to our special teams. Brad Robbins,
he had a couple good punts.
Listen, Joe Goodberry, who's my brother, and I if you don't follow him, guys, I recommend that you follow me. You keep up with Bengals on the Brain, which is coming out this week, where he'll be doing his breakdown of the game and film analysis and all that. That'll be on the First Star Media Group YouTube channel. So make sure you guys catch that and subscribe to that as well. But he had an interesting point earlier today when we did our live previewing the game. He said, "Hey, Malik, the reason why the Bengals coaching staff likes him so much is not because of the distance in which he can punt the ball. It's the fact that they're looking at it as we're not getting anybody returning balls on us, essentially. So that's a win-win for us, right? So his hang time is what's great, which allows the ball, to hang in the air a little bit more, which allows our defenders or our gunners essentially to get down there in time to cause those fair catches. Nobody's really returning the balls on the Bengals, and that's
5 punts. Yeah. Guess how many returns? 1 for 3 yards.
Yeah.
And to your point, I think, and there was a fascinating discussion you guys were having. It makes sense. If you punt the ball 5 times, you only have 1 return for 3 yards. And obviously you can say he's averaging 42 yards per punt.
Right.
But if there's 1 return for 3 yards, he did his job.
I think it's all about philosophy, right?
Yep.
So for me, my philosophy is, damn, I see a guy like Presley Harvin or whatever the dude's name is.
Yeah.
And he's absolutely just bombing punts down the field. And I'm like, damn, I want that. Or you see AJ Cole for the Raiders bombing punts down the field. And you're like, damn, I want that. Then you see a guy like Brad Robbins who isn't necessarily bombing punts down the field, but he's also not getting them returned on him. It's like, damn, do you want that? Like, because it's the ability, it's the feel. Listen, it's about the flipping the field position for you, right? And for me, I think that it's all about philosophy, right? And I think every special teams coordinator in the NFL is different. Some people like what Brad Robbins is doing, but I think most people would like what Harvin is able to do and contribute to a team, or AJ Cole is able to contribute to a team, or Tress Way is able to contribute to a team. The list goes on. The fact of the matter is, maybe I misjudged Brad Robbins and how the Bengals coaching staff views it. Yeah. Maybe that's the case. And guess what? You guys know me. I'm okay to admit that I'm wrong, but Joe really helped open my eyes. And I'm a guy that I'm hard to really get to see the light, if you will, when it comes to certain things. But I was like, I never thought about it that way. Maybe his hang time really is a weapon for this team. And he made up a great point. He said, hey, Malik, think about it this way. Had we had Brad Robbins punting for us in the AFC Championship game against the Chiefs, the Bengals probably come away with the victory. Because, again, you're not getting a return on you. And what happened in that game? We got a return on us. So it's a win-win. So he said they believe that his leg is going to get stronger. I believe that. Yeah. I believe that. It could happen. Only, again, confidence comes from knowing. Confidence comes from repetition and practice. And you get better and better as the time goes on and your leg gets stronger. So excited to see what happens with Brad Robbins and see him continue to progress as the Bengals punter goes on. But yeah, and it's funny. I literally were crossing the street today and I see Drew Chrisman in the car. We see Drew Chrisman in the car. I was like, oh, that's Drew Chrisman. But anyway, yeah. So any other keys that you saw for tonight?
Yeah, man. I mean, I liked how they tried getting Joe Mixon involved. Joe Mixon looked good. Once again, he's breaking tackles. He looks like a different back than he was last year. Yeah. He looks good.
But listen, let's talk about the offensive line.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Jonah Williams? I can't wait to see his PFF grade. Yeah. I saw Jonah go out there and make some critical blocks today, man. And I was like, man, Joe Burrow's having all day to throw, man.
Like, he threw 49 times. And 49. I think he got sacked once or twice. And
man, this offensive line is coming together. But again, and also let's talk about the left tackle, the true bodyguard that the Bengals brought in, the guy that everybody said, oh, he's not going to do this and do that for you because he's an overrated player. Yet and still he's been nominated to 4 Pro Bowls. He's blocked for 2 NFL MVPs. Yeah, I'm talking about Orlando Brown. Yeah. Orlando Brown, man, he has brought stability to this Bengals offensive line. And Jonah Williams looks like a damn good right tackle. Guess what? Every tackle can't be elite, but he looks serviceable. And that's what you're asking for, right? That's what you're asking for. For all the years of the turnsicles the Bengals have had on the offensive line, from John Jerry's of the world, Bobby Hart of the world, I can at least appreciate what Jonah Williams brings to the table at the right tackle for the Bengals spot. And this week, he always projected better as either a right tackle or a guard in the NFL due to his size. So I got to just say, hats off to this offensive line. A lot of people wanted Frank Pollock's head on a pitchfork, if you will. But man, he's coming together. Somebody asked me, Tree Relief says, Malik, do you drink coffee in the evening? Tree, I'm going to tell you something that's probably going to shake you up. I have not had a cup of coffee since this morning. True story. I have not had a cup of coffee since this morning. This is all natural energy right now. This is all natural energy. I have not had a cup of coffee at all. I thought about it, but I said, you know what? Nope. So what you're seeing right now is a guy that is just pumped up, that is excited to talk about football right now.
No, I love that. I mean, I'm sure some people who don't drink coffee are like, well, you still had one today, Malik, but whatever. No, man, I mean, overall, it was a good game. I also I know we talked about how the coaching staff, made adjustments to offense. I want to give them another round of applause. Like some of those bootleg passes, like I know Joe Burrow isn't at full health, but I was like, that's a Sean McVay play. Like some of those bootleg passes, Joe Burrow rolling out to the left.
I'm going to make a statement right now, Daniel.
I'm here.
I'm going to make a statement, Bengals fans. Did Zach Taylor outcoach Sean McVay today? I think one kid. Listen, football is about Listen, anybody could coach, but it comes down to situational coaching. I think when it comes down to situational coaching, Zach Taylor outcoached Sean McVay today. I do.
Yeah,
I do.
I think, like, I don't think Zach Taylor made any grave mistakes.
I think the Rams tried too much to get cute, personally. I think that's what hurt them. I think they tried to do their play action thing, right?
Yeah.
But I think the Rams could have had more success had they just been more committed to the running game. It's funny, the exact same thing I said about Zach Taylor the last 2 weeks is what I'm saying about Sean McVay and the Rams.
Yeah. And then you can look at, I mean, just the talent. I know they traded away Cam Akers. Kyron Williams is okay. He looked okay. And I mean, just overall, their offense, like, go. Like, it was not frustrating, but one, you barely got Puka involved right away. Two, Tutu Atwell, like, you had the one great play with him, two great plays right away. Then he was kind of a no-name after that. And then it was just kind of the Tyler Higbee show, and that was it. They lacked real punch. And Matt Stafford, I think a lot of it, I'll have to go back and rewatch. I'm going to put a lot of the credit on the defensive line, and they just made Stafford look uncomfortable. That's what I saw most. Stafford was uncomfortable. He was getting hit. He was running out of the pocket. That's what I saw the most, because at the end of the day, the fourth quarter, I saw Tutu Atwell. Another play, Jalen Davis. I don't know. I haven't watched enough of his film, but he made one play. It was in the fourth quarter. Tutu Atwell was coming on the crosser, and then Jalen Davis made a beautiful pass break. I was like, who the hell? I was like, that's Davis?
I kid you not.
Yeah.
I kid you not.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with Jalen Davis's dad right before the game at the tailgate. He said, watch out for my son today. He said, watch out for my son today.
Yeah.
We were at Bengals Gym tailgate.
That's him. That was him. No shot.
He said to me, watch out for my son today. He's got some packages in there for him.
Wow.
Watch out for my son
Shout
today.
out to him.
Shout out to him.
Man.
There. He called it, and I was like, we had a great conversation. And we shook hands, and he said, keep up the great work, man. And I was like, I'm gonna be looking out for your son today. And I didn't even know that was Jalen Davis that made that play.
It was a beautiful play, because I was watching. I was like, who was that? Because my eyes were kind of glued to Tutu Atwell. One, he was on my fantasy team, and two, he was kind of just the chess piece that I was like, okay, if a big play happens, it's probably gonna be Tutu. And they kind of locked him up near the end. I mean, he had a couple big plays, but
let me tell you something. That's also the cool thing about Lou as a defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
The worst thing you can do for Lou's team, I've always felt, is if you have a ex-player that you need to watch out for. Lou is so good at eliminating them from the game plan.
I'm sure they had a conversation at halftime, because after halftime, Tutu was like a net zero. Besides
I'm talking about the
touchdown.
Puka guy. I'm talking about
both of them.
Because that's all the talk you kept hearing was Puka. What is it?
Puka.
I said Puka.
He only had one big catch, and that was at the end. It was kind of busted coverage, but
and so, like, I definitely want to make sure we give these coaching staff their flowers, because they devised a great game plan, man. And Bengals fans just showed up loud and proud. And you could tell that pressure, that noise was getting to them. So let's look ahead, right? I know we obviously have State of the Jungle on Wednesday, and this is a little bit of a treat because it's weird. It's a Monday night. night, so we're gonna be talking. So this is gonna be heavy on Bengals on this YouTube channel this week. But let's talk about it this week. Bengals have the Titans coming up.
Yep.
I think the Titans present some issues, right?
Yep.
I think the Titans present some issues, but I think if the Bengals stay disciplined, I don't think the Titans do anything great. That's the issue.
No, they don't.
They're very pedestrian. Their offense is you know what to expect. And the reason why we're talking about them so quickly, guys, because literally they'll be coming up very, very quickly.
5 days.
5 days, literally. 6 days?
Something like that.
Whatever.
5,
Sunday.
6, yeah.
The fact of the matter is, Derrick Henry, it's going to be Derrick Henry. It's going to be the Derrick Henry show. They're going to look to run the ball down your throats. The only thing that I will caution this team to watch out for is the big play shots to DeAndre Hopkins. We know that's what's going to happen. I don't know if they present a lot of issues from a defensive line standpoint outside of Jeffrey Simmons, personally.
No. Defensive line's good, but
it's good.
Yeah.
But again, you dealt with Aaron Donald tonight. You dealt with Aaron Donald tonight, and you did a great job. Now, some people say Aaron Donald's getting older. Some people say Aaron Donald's have the talent around him.
Yeah.
I ain't going to be that person to talk junk because I think Aaron Donald's a phenomenal player. Yeah. But I think it's important to talk about what the game plan could be. I think this could also be another Joe Mixon week.
And what I will say to the Joe Mixon point is there were still points during this game where I felt like they should have went to him more, right? And obviously you can look at the numbers. Joe Burrow threw 49 passes. I don't think anybody wanted that. That would be my only concern is, okay, I wish they would have got Joe Mixon even more involved. I think 17 carries or something. And that's my biggest concern is you saw last week, how do you beat the Titans? You get out ahead. You get out ahead, right? Then Derrick Henry had less than 20 yards, I believe, last game against the Browns. Less than 20 yards. And what we saw Amari Cooper go off. We saw Elijah Moore go off. That's what you've got to do. You've got to get your receivers involved right away. And you can't let the Titans play with the lead. That's the thing. So, and even the Bengals today, they started slow again. So that's going to be your concern, right? You can't let the Titans play with the lead because I promise you, if the Titans are up 10 points heading into halftime, Derrick Henry's going to be running all over the Bengals in the second half if you don't let them play with the lead. So that's how I look at it. The Titans got their cornerback, Christian Fulton. They got one of their safeties back, so they're starting to get healthier. But on offense, I'm not concerned. It's DeAndre Hopkins. It's Derrick Henry. And you do the same thing. You let Ryan Tannehill make a mistake. These quarterbacks like the Jimmy Garoppolos of the world, the Matt Staffords of the world, they're going to make a mistake.
I want to do something in the chat. I want to do something in the chat real quick.
Yeah.
You know, we sat by a couple weeks ago and we talked about games that you guys might want us to do a live stream for.
Oh, yeah.
Me and Daniel were talking.
Yeah.
We said, go to Tennessee or stay here and watch the game. Let us know in the chat right now if you guys think we should do a live watch party stream for the Bengals Titans game where we watch the game with you guys. Let us know. I want you guys to comment in the comment section if you guys want us to do a live stream this Sunday for Bengals Titans. I'm really curious to hear what the Bengals fans are going to say. Are they going to say absolutely not? It's going to be fun, though. I'm going to look to bring people on. I'm going to look to have fun.
Yeah.
I'm going to look like it's going to be fun, right? And we said we're going to do how many games this year? We're going to try to do, we said three or four, something like that. We're going to try to do.
Yeah.
So what if we do a live stream? They're saying, I was hear people say, do it, live stream. I would watch it. Live stream. Yes, let's go. So we're gonna put a poll out on social media too and ask some people because we know we got 100 people in the chat right now, but I know there's some people that aren't watching. But if you guys want to see us do a live Bengals watch party, I'm down. I'm game for
I feel like
I'm here for it.
I feel like it'd be fun because especially I know I like analyzing the game. That's one of the things where whether you go to a game versus watch it at home. If you watch it at home, you don't have the crowd music. You can actually during commercials talk about the game, talk about the plays. And that's where I feel like a lot of people, whether it's I like talking to people during games and saying, okay, what'd you think? Yo, Jalen Davis, what was he doing? Cheeto, Mike Hill, what was he? And I feel like the audience would love that, get them involved. Maybe we do some giveaways on the stream. I don't know. I feel like that'd be fun. So,
all right. I'm gonna go talk to my I like to always say my producers, my network producers ever at First Star Logistics, and I'll see if we can make that happen and make something fun of it too, man. Because I want it to be something really, really special. Because I know, I want to give back to the people. Like, everybody can go to games and stuff like that, right? But it'd be cool to sit and watch games with you guys to really talk about Malik. Why are we doing an end around on 3rd and whatever. So like this would be cool, man.
And that's the one thing I also want to say, man, is like just even the tailgates are fun. Just Bengals games, I didn't realize how fun they were. Like
Yeah.
today at the tailgate, simply just talking to people. Okay, what's your guys' thoughts? What's your prediction? Where'd you grow up? How'd you become a Bengals fan? I don't know. Just the part of like actually having genuine conversation. It's just fun. And whether the Bengals would have won or lost, those are the things where even like I met 5, 6 different people at the game when I was sitting down that you just talk, you exchange contact, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
I don't know. Cincinnati, that's the one thing today was kind of like tailgate was fun, and man, it was a blast. So audience, that's what you guys make it fun.
All
So,
I know is the city of Cincinnati was buzzing today.
Yeah.
The people want us to do a live stream watch party for Bengals Titans. I'm pumped up about it.
Yeah.
We got 94, almost 100 people on this chat. Give this video a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn on post notifications so you guys don't miss when we go live from the First Star Logistics Studio or when we go live for Bengals games. I am going to put that out there on social media and check the temperature. People want us to do it, man. I'll do it, man. I definitely want to. I love talking ball with you guys. If there's a way, maybe we even change up the platform for something like that. Maybe if there's a way we can even get some of you guys to call in and make this really, really fun. I'm down to do this because guess what? Without you guys, none of this is possible. We are all Who Dey Nation together, man. And I just appreciate you guys so much for supporting. That being said, if there is not any questions, which I do not see, I'm going to let you guys enjoy your night. We've been live for almost 40 minutes.
Wow.
That shows the passion. It's almost 2 a.m. I absolutely love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. And I appreciate the love, Cornell. He says, absolutely. Yo, those white Bengal jackets are
I didn't
fire.
realize we're wearing the same ones.
Yeah, man, we are, man. It's just inside out. And the cool thing about it is when it has a whiteout game, I can go white. If it regularly, I can go black. So the fact of the matter is, you guys can get some of these jackets over at Black Owned. I know they were partnered with the Bengals at one point in time. I don't think they're partnered anymore, but they're still partner licensed with the NFL, so they can still make Bengals content. I just think that their gear is a little bit like different, right?
Got the sweats on too.
It's pretty swaggy. So I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. But appreciate you guys so much for supporting. I hope that you guys have an excellent night. I hope that you guys are still buzzing from that victory. Congrats to Chad. Congrats to Boomer for being inducted into the Bengals Ring of Honor. Congrats to the city of Cincinnati. This is hopefully the start of a huge winning streak on the road to Super Bowl. I'm ready. But
Vegas, baby.
Vegas, man, I'm pumped up. Right, I'm ready for Vegas to take all my money. But until next time, we'll see you guys on the next time we go live, which will be, I'm pretty sure, the sit down with Malik. I mean, the State of the Jungle this upcoming Wednesday, 7 p.m. live from the First Star Logistics Studio. We hope you guys have a great night. Who Dey?